Microsoft decided to ditch their own language, Typescript, in favor of Go. If you didn't know already, the Typescript compiler was written using itself, Typescript, creating a chicken and egg problem and making a gaping hole in the universe. Fortunately, Microsoft decided to patch this and rewrote the entire compiler using Go. There are many reasons why the switch came about, but probably the most important one would be the speed increases of up to 10 times. Since the inception of TypeScript, we saw massive adoption of it across the entirety of web dev, bringing static typing, making writing your code way easier in the JavaScript-filled world. But with all the success came its own set of problems. As the projects in which TypeScript was used grew in size, so did the compilation speeds. In the beginning, these were just minor inconveniences, but they quickly grew to massive bottlenecks in the development. The great thing about JavaScript was that there were no compilation times, but now, before testing out your code, you had to first compile it. The original TypeScript compiler was written using itself, but it started to show its limitations, and not only with the compilation speeds, but also with incremental builds, which led to slower development times and massive memory usage, which required you to have a data center just to run your CI/CD pipelines. The lead architect and the mind behind C# said that we've reached the limit of what we can squeeze out of JavaScript, and so things are about to get serious. You can see how much the compilation times have decreased when using the Go compiler, using these benchmarks that showed an average of 10 times the compilation speeds, which is a game changer. No more data centers to run your pipelines, and no more having to touch grass whilst your local builds are running. Another big issue with TypeScript was its memory usage. During the compilation of large projects, the compiler could balloon to using gigabytes of memory, as it was filled with massive abstract syntax trees, so you couldn't even be talking to your AI girlfriend whilst compiling your code. Go almost halved the memory usage. TypeScript is also single-threaded, which means your 16-core CPU would have one of them nearly set on fire whilst the other one stood there and watched. TypeScript developers compared many different languages like C++, Rust, C#, and even optimized version of TypeScript, but they eventually settled on Go after analyzing and creating prototypes of all these implementations. Go was the obvious choice as it offered concurrency, efficiency of I/O operations, memory efficiency, and Go is not based on JavaScript, so it's immediately faster. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see these improvements until TypeScript 7.0, and we are still on TypeScript 5.9. But when it comes, it will definitely send shockwaves across the entire web development landscape.